Good evening, and thank you for joining me on Dementia Diaries, a caregiver's journey. I have a special guest with me tonight. She will be sharing her story about her mother. She'll be talking about the challenges and some of the experiences she's faced, some good experiences, some bad experience. So at this time, let's welcome Ketra Lewis. Hey, Ketra, how are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. I think everyone that's listening, I think we're having some technical difficulty. So bear with us as we go. So there's like I want you to say something, Ketra, because you're going in and out.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, it's just, I can hear you. You're just going in and out, that's all.
That's weird. We had thought we had figured that. Let's see something.
Okay, you're sounding a little better now.
Okay, good.
So let's just go ahead and check in. Okay.
Hi.
So Ketra, tell me something. Tell us about yourself. Where are you from?
And I live. I've been here all my life. As we talked about my mother in the 60s, born in 19, oh, grew up here, went to school here. She's
Okay. So tonight we're going to talk about your mother, Anne. What type of dementia did she have?
diagnosed in her late 60s.
Okay.
Her late 60s.
Okay. So she had vascular dementia that was diagnosed in her late 60s. Okay. So were you with her when she was diagnosed, or did you hear it over the phone?
She had done some things that were I gave her. For example, she like cancel her insurance policies, and they went to the house to help. And she was saying, "I cancel all of my bills. I'm really big about her bills." Okay.
Okay, we're going to take a pause from the show for a moment. So please don't go. Please don't go anywhere. We need to fix some technical difficulties that we're having. So, Ketra, maybe you want to try to go out and come back in because you're really breaking up there. Okay, yeah. So just log out and log.
Okay.
Okay. So everyone, while Ketra logs out and come back in, I'll just give you an update on what she was saying. She is from Detroit. She lives in Detroit, and her mother, Anne, was diagnosed with vascular dementia. So she is here to share her story about her and the experiences that she went through as she was caring for her mother. So for some reason, I don't know why the systems don't want to act right sometimes, but we're going to bring her back in now to see if it sounds any better. All right, Ketra, let's try it again. Yes.
Does that sound okay? Right? Yeah. So she she was so what I was saying was I picked on something that she was really big on paying her bills on time. That was her thing, she was a saver, she was had credit and things like that. So when I canceled my bills, something doesn't seem quite right. I heard ramblings from people about dementia, but wasn't quite what it meant. So I went with her to the doctor. I'm glad she came. We had been watching her for years. And she had a lot of health challenges. Mom was diabetic. Had she was when she was so all of the issues, and she had blood pressure. She was 5, but
Mhm.
issues sort of contributed to the health and impact. And so
So,
went to the watching her.
okay. So, when you heard this diagnosis, what was the first thing that went through your mind, if you can remember? What were your thoughts?
At the time, I something to live with. I didn't know how aggressive it would become. But then, as I started doctors, the care that she was getting, I ended up changing her doctor because I didn't think that she had been going to these doctors. When she got to this stage, it's almost like they didn't know what to do. So outside, I went to some different stuff, and then I started seeing how grave it could be. I was told that medicine and it would get better. We all will as Black people. So
Yep.
it's nothing. Zero. Like, oh no, there's hope. So I got into caregiver mode. Just trying to head off. They gave some medications. They said they could kind of help with the symptoms. They also had like anxiety. They gave some depression, sort of help that part of it. And I think she kind of knew because actually, after a little note, she doesn't even do these things that I think she was starting to. She was losing her memory, and as it progressed, forget things, they repeat themselves all the time. And she had been doing that for a while. And I'm thinking, because she's older and she's got a lot going on. We say get older, they repeat themselves, they forget. But it was almost like combative sometimes. You didn't remember things, you question something. I told you that, you didn't tell me, and then you go back and forth. And then I had to cope with that, not argue more. Like she was always just, oh yeah, you're right, yeah, yes. Because aware that she did not remember things or were doing. She would do something and you'd call her out and I didn't do that. And you're like, I just saw her. She said she didn't remember. So she lived with it for a while, but it progressed really slow. But at the end, it went fast.
Okay. So let me ask you,
Yeah.
so when you were talking about the stage where she was repeating herself, it does normally take a while to kind of get accustomed to that,
Yeah.
the repetitiveness. It can be very annoying. It can be frustrating. But I think once you get your mindset to understand what's going on, then you can kind of say, okay, all right, we can do that. Okay, just go along with what they say for a certain point. So,
Why are you trying to reason with someone that's not reasonable? So, I hated this dude. My mother, the person I remember was a strong, vibrant, life, full of very inspirational, very impactful my life. So to her, that was hard. I didn't click. Oh, she's got me. Research says that repetitive.
yeah.
Like, oh, she's bad. Calm me back. Nothing happened. Like, man, I had a really, serious and I'm like, oh, she doesn't hold on, just remember.
Now, where did she stay? Did she stay with you? How long did she stay at home? Did she go into a nursing home or anything? How was that?
She had actually been staying with her, kind of helping out with 'cause she had to go dialysis, and then she got to a point where she couldn't drive, and had a companion that was staying with her, and then maybe her last year she lived with, and actually the doctors said that was actually with everything that she had were probably great, as things she had. And the doctors was like they was dialysis live as it really was the thing, you know, sort of at the end. The eating, she wouldn't eat anything. She had lost so much, at the end. Again, they forget how
And
to
what?
communicate. I mean,
hmm And what did you, when she wouldn't eat, what did you all have to do? What worked to get her to eat or did anything?
you know, she would eat sweet. She was a diabetic. She's not supposed to have, the doctor so kind of like, she did a certain way and get the nursing home had so much. They were looking at you know, something. You're trying to have her eat a whole meal, and but she had no appetite, or she um mother had a look. I feel, and I don't know
Hmm.
if you can identify their eyes and there's how they weren't communicating. You
hmm
knew if someone was agitating, something was going on. With eating, she did eat a lot. She nibble. She did like maybe sips or cookies, but like, and I just think because she just couldn't remember how to chew. And
Either
that's why they
that
just taught her.
or, yeah, either that or I think I can't remember what they call it, but they get to a point where the food would start going down into the lungs. Um, and
Okay.
that was a good thing either. So then we had to start giving her, soft foods. But something interesting
Oh
that you
yeah.
said, the sweets. I don't know if it's with every patient that has dementia or not, but I've talked to a lot of people and they've all said that their, loved one loves something sweet. My mom, she was like the pudding, the applesauce, a lollipop,
Yeah.
all that type
Maybe
of
that
stuff.
was
Yes, I mean, love the sweets, love the sweets. And someone just
the,
said it's called
the
aspiration. Aspiration is when the food goes into the lungs, so that's what that's called.
okay. And like I said, like 9 months, and then they were trying to, because she got to a point where dead weight, couldn't get her up,
Mm-hmm.
walk up the stairs. It just started debilitating. It's a very debilitating disease. Um, and I wasn't quite, when it happened. So I thought more time, and then but it seemed like something just clicked and it just progressed. The
Mm-hmm.
time one day, and they're laughing and they're having, and then next thing not, communication goes. So
Mm-hmm.
it was like hard to watch it. I did the best I could. I worked full-time job and married, and then caring for her. I remember days I was home by Detroit on my way to, because I had like a time. I had a crazy 45 minutes from my house past her house on the way to work, and sometimes I'd have to stop over to make sure she's okay, take something she needs, take care of all her needs, take her meds, all her medicine, and so the drugs that they were prescribed surviving were a couple $100 program that I think is very helpful. So they have a base. It's a program that helps people as they need. And this is to help also like gives them like 360 care.
Okay.
Sign nurse or social work, nutrition, their prescription, which was huge because it was sort of covering. And also I help to companies, as they have all these companies have programs for people with you supply prescriptions for what you need a certain income. So I got that from her, insulin, 4 months to a year, and then after this other program I was talking about called PACE, and so very instrumental in just support. But I was gathered with her and the care that she needs when they start to transition, and then still not enough. A nursing home, she should have probably been in 2 types of nursing homes. There's skilled nurses, and then there's unskilled nurses. If you have a loved one dementia and you see progress, because here, and so much I learned from the process, so much things, let them know they're going to be on, and somebody, maybe I don't know anybody that really shared that with me. I went through it. Yeah.
And that's one of the reasons I started this podcast, not only for a legacy of my mother, but for others that can, they can listen and find out that there are other people that's going through the same thing. They have a lot of questions. When I look out on Facebook, there are various dementia groups, and, some people are, having a really rough time, and I can understand why they're having a really rough time. So, just reaching out to some of those folks, letting them know, just breathe, it's going to be okay, but, you got to take a break,
Yes.
Just,
yes.
So
I would say that too.
And that's what I think a lot of folks may not realize, because they are really concentrating on the care, making sure they're okay.
Yeah.
I mean, you're building new memories there at the same time, and also you can learn so much from your loved one as well during that time, considering their mind typically goes back to when they were younger. You can learn so many things.
So there yeah. So many things in the past, you're like, oh, what years, things that you didn't know before. No, I should be some stories, I think it's slow, because I know there were others that family members told me that even with her going back and remember things, she still was guarding some things that she said, as if she still knew there's some things she cannot share. But say that back to my mother's were calm. If you rattle her, you use her. But she seemed a different person, but as my mother. But that's somewhat different than we are when we are mature. But it was like you said, it was intimate. There's a lot of elements and a lot of minutes.
Yes. Yes.
Back and forth.
So what did you do for you as you're going through, making sure your mom is okay, you're taking care of, working, and, doing those things? How did you maintain your sanity?
My husband, he was very supportive, but I don't, there's like a health issue during the time I was there, so I had to take him. But I worked, I had, seeing how the time of all things, right? So I got promoted at, and I had a health, and my mom, dementia, and then my husband's mom, a million. One thing that I didn't do is patient, at least 1 week away, even though it was hard to leave my mother. I mean, I had to have access to my phone, and I'd have to have people help me watch her while I was going through certain, like she liked choice, or she wanted certain things to make sure she had was like she dressed a certain way. I always want to make sure she's taken care of. I would never have to help me with those things, but I was not asking for a lot. So I didn't have brothers and sisters, friends, and things like that. But when I go back, I don't. But maybe a trip here and there, maybe, and I'm not over today, but then I worry all day. And I call and she's okay, you have to come. I'm like, are you sure? Let me talk to her. And mom, are you okay? It's okay if I don't come today? No, you don't have to come today. You gotta take care of yourself. You only got, so. But still, you have the guilt.
Yeah, you still.
Have the guilt.
There wasn't at peace. I know because I'm in Florida and the rest of my siblings are, they're up in the Maryland, DC, Virginia area, and that's where my mom was. So I would call every day, regardless of how's she doing. Is she okay? I know they got tired of my call. Yes, she's doing well. She's okay. But you still just have to do it. And I remember staying.
You have to do it if you're there and if you're not there. Like you have it. It's like you never feel like you can do enough because it's your mother, the one who carries you, and
like you got
to have
do
to
the same thing. Yeah.
You put a lot of high expectations on yourself. But my husband would tell me sometimes, you don't got to go today, or let me go, or just call. They'll be trying to check on me. Like, what's the schedule today? And I'm like, well, I got to go here, 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 but I 10 o'clock. I don't caretake. Don't for ourselves.
That is true. And I know I would travel up to Virginia and stay like for a month. And then it got to a point where I was staying like for a month and a half or then 2 months. And we had a monitor, we had a camera that, we always had her under camera. And then like when we would go to sleep, I wouldn't sleep downstairs with her, but we had a camera still, and I'm up all night. I mean, no sleep at all. I might as well have had stayed down there with her.
Right.
But I'm looking at the camera every time she'll turn, every time there's a noise, I'm looking. So it's like, exactly.
I know.
Yeah.
I was like, my mother was boss, and I would come in the house. He's like, here comes the boss. And she would just look. I would just run through the house like, she's help get her outfits and things, medicine, her meds. It was when you turn on that switch, just in all you just you kind of in survivor mode. Your mother, your father, your loved one, and you don't think about it.
You don't.
You go, like,
how in the world do that?
I don't know. Huh?
Even before anything would happen, you'll always say like, oh, I would never do that. No, I can't do that. I can't change her. I can't give her a show. I can't do that. But you know what? You do it and you don't even think about it.
No, I don't. I do have a different view of that. If you love something, you do whatever. because I have a weak stomach.
Mhm.
A nurse practitioner and care people, and then it was interesting. He was a caregiver for people who had dementia.
Wow.
Would get paid to go just sit with, yeah. And so, but she was nurturing. And I wanted to be a nurse, but my mother was like, I don't know why about that, because you need like a nurse, a doctor, the whole age limb down to give me my shots, and then I didn't like hospital. Not you, you're not caretaker, like that. And then so when she got, it kicks in automatically. It's
Mhm.
and it's gonna
Now, what about
show
her?
up.
Does she have issues? Does she ever have issues taking her medication? Or, did you ever have to crush?
I think and they would have to check her mouth. She got smart and would hide it all or under her tongue. I think with the aspiration, I guess she swallow things, or put it in something to drink. But I know she has so many issues. I think she was a palate, so it was just to make her comfortable.
Mhm.
Because she just started to,
Mhm.
lose sleeping a lot, and just they didn't want to
Yep.
take medicine.
Mhm.
They just kind of let
Mhm.
it go.
Yeah.
So she's on by hers was on that, so the week she died, the week of MLK ago, February, but the week of that she was Dallas. So like the day
Oh.
they called Monday, they called because they had to take her to dialysis by ambulance. That's how bad they got. At that point, I've been enjoying your mom's quality. You need to think, no, I'm not making decisions. So the last dialysis, and she didn't even make it. They called me. They were like, "Me, vitals are very low." So get to the hospital, and the doctor said, "You have to make some decisions." So he shared was a dialysis patient, and he ended up expiring, from that. But so he was saying to me, you have a heart attack.
Mhm.
Dialysis is very painful, and he would suffer. She's not eating. All her vitals are low, so like should make her. I don't know if I could do it. I don't know if that's what I'm doing. And he said, well, why? And I said, well, I remember 10 years she got dialysis. She didn't want to get on dialysis. They called me and they were, your mom's going to die. She's going to. So I called her. Oh, I want to live. She had an attitude. She adjusted to it, and she thought her quality of life was bad. She's able to drive and do other things, for a while. And I told him, so I feel so risk if I decide to decision to take her off. Because what that meant was going to expire care, you're in hospice, and then basically you're waiting to. So, but I didn't love her. So they
Mhm.
transitioned her, and she's supposed to live like 4 weeks. But the next day, I went to her tired. I could see
Mhm.
she was ready to go. I said, she just, and I said,
Mhm.
so talk to hospice, and I don't know if we did hospice, but after talking with
Mhm.
them, I felt better about my decision because they basically explained as a transition, and all the things they said happened with my mother.
Mhm.
So okay, here every day, I left to go somewhere like the next, and my mother, her friend was there. I didn't know she was there. And she told her, I know one for Ketra, but Ketra's going to be okay. And do you know she died that night? Like I came back. So we did her, and it was not looking good. You had to get up here. To get up there, they was like, she probably won't make it tonight. So all the family was in there, It was a lot going on. I kicked them all out the room. I kicked Christian music on. And then I also not going to do mom take her last breath, because that's how strong a woman she is. As I came home, she says, it's like I kind of knew. It was a beautiful thing, but a sad thing, because I know she's not suffering anymore.
Yeah.
Important. Yeah.
It really does. It really does.
How long. The things, yeah. Life and death for me. It's hard to explain. When you see
it is
like that. It's so, yeah.
I know myself and 3 of my siblings and my sister-in-law, we were there with my mom when she passed. So we stayed for the whole process until she took her last breath. But what we did, we knew she was a Christian. We knew she loved the Lord. She loved to sing, and we sung her into glory. We sung all of her songs that she normally sang until she took her last breath. Yes, we did. And it was, like you said, it was.
That's because it was beautiful. Yes.
Yeah.
Peaceful.
And it was. You said it was sad. It was sad at the same. It was sad, but yet at the same time, it was. It was also. You're right. She's not suffering anymore, in a better place. So that was some relief for me.
How long did she have?
I believe she had it for over 10 years. I know my siblings can correct me. Yeah. I want to say about 14, but I could be wrong. Because I think she actually had it before she was, she had it before she was diagnosed. But
yeah, I think she had.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and my mom passed of
testing. She passed
at the age of 86. So she was 86 when she passed.
86.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. She was 76, and I ended up having a party for her at the nursing home.
Mm-hmm.
A 75th birthday party. And then it seemed like that she transitioned to decline in her health, but my mom had been sick for so long. She had diagnosed when I was dying. And then, so she had a long life, her best. And so, but she would never complain about it, and she would, I'm like, well, Mom, I don't want you, no, you, I want you to do one life to live. Some of the things she would tell me, be careful who your friends are. Don't trust everybody. You think everybody is your friend. Things that and then as I get older, she's not. She was not. Right. It's been 6 years. This is a picture of her. I don't know.
No, yes. You can see it. Mm-hmm.
It remind me of her being really healthy and best, you know. But even through the sickness, she was at her best. And so, one time I was talking to her, I told her, I said, somebody at church, her name was Auntie at church, Auntie Betty got what you have. So my mom like, I don't have dementia. Okay, you just have bad memory. You're like, yeah, I have bad memory. I said, well, take the bad memory if you don't like the word dementia. Yeah, she didn't like that word. She knew, she recognized that it wasn't to deal with, but yeah.
Now, does she have any siblings? Did your mom have any siblings?
So she had
Did
brothers and two sisters had preceded her. She was the oldest.
okay.
And fortunately, a lot of them had Parkinson's. And my other two sons passed before, you know. Grandmother lived and
Wow.
sleep.
Oh.
They tried. She had they tried to say she had autism. She was sick, so she older. A lot of she was in her. Yeah, she outlived her daughter. So, but, you know, my grandmother was old school. How she didn't didn't eat a lot of sweets, and so like 90-year-olds are like people.
They must be. They must be, because that don't happen that often. But yeah.
I'm actually going to a birthday party. My grandma's turning.
Wow. Wow.
She's like she's in like assisted living, runs the place. She's the so
Wow.
I think that I know, you know, we don't have a lot of time. Is sort of been saying in the medical to get a baseline yourself, to start to see if that's something that may happen in your life of it, but put things in place. So if something like that happens, the care that you need, things like that to think about. But I know my mother's that kind of caused by, so keeping her in, you know, her blood pressure, even though she's been on blood pressure medicine majority of times when you don't know is out. So we have to take care of ourselves, understand our numbers, our stress. And the one thing my mother always gained some weight, and I think he was so, you know, you're a pretty girl, but you got to get the weight, because, you know, so, no, that was probably her, but she advocate and did everything the doctors told her to do. But I don't know. Hindsight 2020, you know, you look, she was a short woman, but statuesque, you know, always extra weight, like, and you know, if you get too small, you that's that there too. You know, I would just stress, you know, you take care of yourself, watch your numbers, you know, those things. Those, looking back at my mom, those are contributors of kind of to her having disease, and the kidney disease, something kind of family, but there may have been other that she known done differently, because she loved life more than anything. First, she also liked living.
Right.
Yeah.
So we're coming at the top. Got 5 more minutes, but
Okay.
for those people that are caring for their loved ones and they're at the point where they're saying, I can't take this anymore. I don't know what to do. I'm going to lose my mind. What would you say? What would you say to those individuals?
Yeah. You're gonna have to get through you, and it's not their fault, but what I'll say is try to get help, try to reach out to some family, help me stop by the nursing home, or can you take these, ask for help in the process than sooner. Me and my cousins, we had just meetings afterwards. They're like, what are you doing your own? I'm like, I'm on one person. think, that's taken care of. Ask, can you help? What can you do? It means if you pick up someone's groceries and sit with someone, give somebody some time for sales and just relax. We're on 120, and every little thing, helps. That's what I would say.
Okay. Well, thank you, Ketra. Thank you for joining us this evening.
It's hard.
It is. It is. It's hard, but you know what? We're through, right? We made it through, and hopefully that
We made it through.
Yeah, and hopefully we're helping someone else as they go through the process as well. So I am going to thank you for joining us again, and I thank everyone in the audience that's listening. Of course, if you would like to be a guest on this podcast, you can reach me at DementiaDiariesPodcast@gmail.com. We come on every second and fourth Thursday of the month. So thank you all again and have a wonderful, wonderful evening. And I'll see you in 2 weeks. Good night.